Chapter 263, Reinforcement. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Hey, kid, you're going to get yourself killed. Link Cyansu stood up on the back of the three-footed firecrow. The light displayed from the purple crystal wrapped him up completely and transformed into a round-shaped light screen. The three-footed firecrow's body displayed a dazzling light as if every feather was made of fine gold. Along with a long groan, it spat out a mouthful of fire like a magma wave, surging towards Jiang Yuochen. Such a horrifying fire, I can't believe it's the fire of divine gold. Maybe Link Cyansu's steed is a 4th level medium level savage bird. Jiang Yuochen's countenance changed. He made use of the force in the void space and leaned backward immediately. Very quickly he retreated 100 meters away and escaped from the pouring fire. The fire had burnt the void space until it distorted. It made a puffing sound. The 4th level medium and lower level savage birds were two completely different classes, and there was a great difference between their fighting power. With Jiang Yuochen's current martial cultivation, he was able to kill a 4th level lower level savage bird. However, even if there were 10 Jiang Yuochens together, he was still no match for a 4th level medium level savage bird. The powerful dragon eagle that he fought earlier was only a slightly stronger 4th level low level savage beast. Link Cyansu laughed out loud and said, "Do you really think that I'm easy to kill, kid? Let me tell you honestly, my three-footed firecrow carriage is a 4th level medium level savage bird. Even if the Yunwu Commandery Prince arrived in person, he might not be strong enough to kill it, let alone you." Haha. A 4th level medium level savage bird, this is going to be trouble. At the same time, Hanku rushed over and joined Jiang Yuochen. She was about to display the yin-yang two-form sword array. Other savage beasts had also rushed over. 3 layers on the inside and 3 layers on the outside, surrounding Jiang Yuochen and Hanku closely in the center. All the savage beasts were grunting and had a ferocious look in their eye along with their sharp teeth. Dong, dong. Some of the savage beasts moved forward tentatively and made the circle smaller. The atmosphere had reached a boiling point. At this moment, 2 long wheezing noise broke out from outside the city. It transformed into 2 sound waves and rushed into the crumbling city. What happened? Did a master of the Heaven Realm rush over? Link Cyansu's countenance fell and he looked towards the outside of the city. The 2 long roaring noises had shaken the spiritual chi between the heaven and earth. Obviously, only warriors of the Heaven Realm would be able to explode out with such power. Surely the reinforcements of the School of the Martial Market and the Yuntai Suzerain have arrived. They are going to save us. Hanku was overjoyed and excited. She gazed at Jiang Yuochen with bright eyes. Outside the city, a beautiful woman with long royal blue hair, a tall and slender body, and an arrogant temperament arrived. She charged into Yi City with a long sword in her hands. Without any hesitation, she entered the crowd of beasts and started killing. There were 2 elders with powerful cultivation following behind her. The old man and old woman were myths of martial arts of the Heaven Realm. That beautiful woman was Huang Yanjun. Jiang Yuochen should be trapped inside the city center. Feng Xuan and Songjai, please offer me a hand and charge in. Huang Yanjun entered the crowd of beasts. The 2 elders, Feng Xuan and Songjai, killed the savage beasts around them and left countless dead bodies on the ground. Shortly after, the 3 of them charged successfully into Ji City. Jiang Yuochen looked at the crowd of savage beasts and recognized Huang Yanchen, who was charging forward at the front. He was shocked. I can't believe it's senior sister apprentice Huang. Jiang Yuochen attacked immediately and joined Huang Yanchen shortly. Boom. Feng Xuan and Songjai had each brought along an 8th level genuine martial arms. In order to clear the way, they struck it out at the same time. A number of savage beasts flew away and they cleared out a large patch. Huang Yanchen went over next to Jiang Yuochen. When she saw that he wasn't hurt, she was relieved and sighed. However, her eyes turned cold-blooded after a short while. She said, "After all the assassinations of the masters from the Poisonous Spider Club and the Square Commandery, you're still alive. How is your life tougher than an ant's? You look disappointed." "Yes, I am. I want them to kill you so that it'll be easier for me to break off our engagement in the future." "No, I need not break it off as I'm not going to marry a dead person." "Really?" Jiang Yuochen glanced at her and noticed that her face was full of sweat and her chest was heaving as well. Apparently, She was exhausted from rushing all the way here to save him. Yet, she still pretended to be cold and arrogant. It had to be said that Zhang Yuochen was touched by what she had done. When he was in danger, Huang Yanqin was the first person who came to save him. Although she was quite mean when she spoke, she was still a nice person. "Thank you so much for saving me." Zhang Yuochen expressed his appreciation. Although Huang Yanqin looked cold at this moment, a sense of joy and fondness flashed through her eyes. She turned around and said with disdain, "Stop pretending in front of me. You being affectionate doesn't work for me. Let's solve the crisis we're facing, then we can sit down and talk," said Zhang Yuochen. Huang Yanqin nodded. She stared at Ling Xiansu and said arrogantly, "Whoever works with the poisonous spider club deserve to die." Ling Xiansu said in a deep voice, "Your commandery Princess Yanqian of the Cayenne Yui commandery? Are you here to save Zhang Yuochen or allow yourself to be trapped and killed?" Feng Xun and Song Jai retreated at the same time and blocked Ling Xiansu in front of Huang Yanqian. Huang Yanqian sneered, "Ling Xiansu, you don't think I'm the only one who came over to Ji City, do you? Are there other masters in the school of the martial market to Ji City as well?" Ling Xiansu asked. Suddenly, a loud noise broke out in the sky. "Ling Xiansu, are you saying that their school of the martial market lacks people?" Hearing this, Ling Xiansu's countenance changed. He asked, "Who is this?" "Seek Sinkong, the #1 of the internal academy of the school." Accompanying the sound wave in the sky, Seek Sinkong and Chang Kikian hurriedly walked through the city gate. Seek Sinkong swung his arm and struck out a scroll of blood book. The blood book flew up to the sky, floated on the cloud and completely covered the entire Ji city. Then, words of blood fell down one after another. The blood words were heavy as if they were 100,000 kilograms. They transformed into a swathe of blood rain and pressed down on the bodies of the savage beasts. Shortly after, other than those 4th-level savage beasts and savage birds, all other savage beasts had been pressed to the ground and couldn't move an inch. Even those 4th-level savage beasts and savage birds were scared by the pressure of the half-saint's blood book. 70% of their power had been stamped out. How shameful it is for people who are almost 100-year-old to fight with their juniors. "Should I fight against you for a few moves?" Seek Sinkong jumped down with the wine gourd in his hand and landed on the broken wall in Ji City. His hair fluttered while he stood up confidently. At the same time, he displayed arrogance and pride. Half-Saint's blood book. Ling Xiansu's countenance turned pale when he looked at the massive blood book floating in the sky. If there was only Seek Sinkong himself, Ling Xiansu even consider him an opponent. However, Seek Sinkong had brought along the Half-Saint's blood book and suppressed all the inferior stage savage beasts. Ling Xiansu didn't have the confidence that he would definitely defeat him if they fought. "Finally I did not arrive late," Chang Kiki gasped. Then, he sat and rested on the ground. Anyhow, it was impossible for Ling Xiansu to escape the senior brother, the Half-Saint's blood book as well as 2 Heaven Realm warriors of the Cayenne Yui commandery. Hundreds of kilometers away, Zhang Tangai clenched his fingers. With a cold look in his eyes, he said, "Seek Sinkong again. He destroys my plan every time." Lu Qiankan asked, "Senior brother, should we charge Ji City now? If we don't go there now, Seek Sinkong will steal all of our thunder." Zhang Tangai laughed coldly. He took out a tiny carriage made with cyan metal. Under the surge of genuine qi, the carriage had expanded 100 times bigger and turned into a glimmering Fuyuan chariot. This was an 8th-level genuine martial arms that possessed a forceful power. It was numerous times stronger than ordinary battle carriages. Zhang Tangai drove the Fuyuan chariot and shot toward Ji City. He clashed with the savage beasts and sent them flying. He roared loudly, "Junior sister apprentice, 9th brother, let me help you guys." When the Fuyuan chariot rushed over, dust and smoke had been kicked up. Lu Qiankan followed behind the carriage and entered Ji City one step behind after Zhang Tangai. Zhang Tangai drove the Fuyuan chariot and stopped in front of Han Ku. He said, "Junior sister apprentice, the defensive power of this carriage will keep you safe." Han Ku glanced at Zhang Yuochen. She bit her lips, smiled and shook her head gently. I'm alright. Ling Xiansu couldn't do much with Singkong's half-saint's blood book. There's no need to be afraid. Jiang Tangai narrowed his eyes as if something was bothering him. He said, since Singkong has displayed the half-saint's blood book, there will be a brutal fight here later. Let's get you out of the city. Han Ku thought for a while and responded, Zhang Yuochen, your seventh brother has his point. Let's retreat from Ji City so that Singkong can fight freely against Ling Xiansu. Half-Saint's blood book isn't enough to finish me. Ling Xiansu transferred his genuine qi into the purple crystal. He rode on the three-footed fire crow and attacked Singkong. As long as Sing was killed, he still had a chance to turn defeat into victory. Perfect timing. Singkong let out a long laugh. He flew up high and struck a palm towards Ling Xiansu. Me as well. Jiang Tangai was reluctant to show weakness. He drove the Feiyuan chariot cup into the sky and charged towards the three-footed firecrow. The three-footed firecrow is a fourth-level medium-level savage bird. Even with the suppression of the half-saint's blood book, its attacking power is still horrifying. Even if Singkong and Jiang Tangai work together, there's only 50% that could win. Zhang Yuochen claimed if the half-saint's blood book that Singkong brought was only used to defeat the three-footed firecrow, it was possible to say that within a few breaths, he would be able to kill the three-footed firecrow. Unfortunately, other than the three-footed firecrow, the half-saint's blood book still needed to hold more than 10,000 savage beasts on the ground. Therefore, the pressure toward the three-footed firecrow wasn't strong. Han Ku walked next to Zhang Yuochen and said, Zhang Yuochen, if we display the sword array, we should be able to kill the three-footed firecrow. Having listened to her, Huang Yanchen was quite defensive. She stared at Han Ku and asked coldly, what kind of sword array? Han Ku glanced at Huang Yanchen, smiled and answered, Zhang Yuochen and I have practiced a sword array which is classified as the strongest duo sword array. Once we display it, perhaps we will be able to confront the fourth-level medium-level savage beast. I guess Zhang Yuochen has also taught you that? From Han Ku's point of view, Huang Yanchen was Zhang Yuochen's fiancé. It was normal for him to teach her the yin-yang two-form sword array.